Hello, and welcome to episode 8 of Face Up, the video podcast for female maskers. I'm Rogue.
And I'm Carrie, and let's take these things off. Whew, that's a lot better.
Not that we're anti-mask, we're very pro-mask, but it's just a little easier to communicate with you. We are practicing social distancing, as you can see.
Well, as you might imagine, the world has changed a lot since we did our last show, and masking has taken on a whole new meaning. I mean, it's in the media, and our president talks about it. You have to wear one to be outside right now. And as people who've, been doing masking for decades, it is rather amusing that this term has become suddenly ubiquitous.
Yeah, you can hear the word mask everywhere, and that's so unusual for us because we listen for that, and suddenly everyone's saying it. Not that, we were cool because we did it first or anything, but it is amusing.
Yeah, I mean, I used to Google search off her mask in quotes to find mask scenes, and you try doing that now. The signal to noise ratio makes it impossible.
I do have to say that I'm highly amused when someone complains about how uncomfortable their mask is. Yeah, cry me a river.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, we got a great show for you this time. We have an interview. We have a recreated segment that I'm really excited to share with you. And don't forget, we have closed captioning. You can turn on with the CC button down there, and it will translate into any language you want to. So we hope you can enjoy the show. And off we go. Well, this is our first segment we call Fess Up, where we talk about what we've been up to lately. So, how about you, Rogue?
Well, in the last 6 months, I've had lots of time to do sewing when we're stuck at home without being able to go outside. It's actually perfect for me. I can do lots of projects that I've been having fun doing. This outfit clearly is based on Daphne from Scooby-Doo. This was the classic Daphne that I enjoyed. I didn't care so much for the outfit they put Sarah Michelle Gellar in the movies. I just didn't think that was my Daphne. This is definitely more my Daphne.
I'm old enough that I can remember Scooby-Doo on its first run. I'll let you Google it to figure out how long ago that was. And it amazes me that in 2020 they're still making Scooby-Doo.
Well, it's funny. I had wanted to do this outfit for quite a while, but it was the shoes that got me into actually making this. I found these shoes and decided these were Daphne's shoes. And from that point, I had to make the outfit just to match the shoes. That often happens. I will find one costume element that's just perfect for that character and then build the rest of the character around it. So I also made a red dress based on a McCall's pattern, just for fun, and a black dress that was very fringy, just from some fabric that I found that I thought would be fun to make. I also made another purple dress. I was purchasing fabric for this Daphne outfit and thought that the fabric would be great, but it wasn't quite the right shade for me. So I made that into this other dress and kind of inspired it with a crosshatch pattern similar to what a superhero might wear. I'm trying to experiment with melding the idea of casual, mundane wear with superhero kind of aesthetics, and just having fun with it.
And we still don't know what Cheetah looks like, because they haven't released Wonder Woman 1984 yet.
Oh, it's been so depressing to have to wait when they keep postponing this film again and again, but it's coming, and eventually we'll get to see it. If it's video on demand, then I'm going to have a Wonder Woman party at my house, and you're all invited.
Social distancing.
I also found a dress online that was based on the 2018 American Music Awards dress that Taylor Swift wore, which is kind of a mirror ball effect. And I thought I'd make that dress myself, but I could not find the fabric. But I found a person on Etsy who was selling it, and so I purchased it from them just for fun, and I really like it. Can't wait to go do karaoke in that dress. It's beautiful. So that's what I've been up to. How about you, Carrie?
Well, actually, the whole lockdown hasn't really affected me that much. I'm an essential worker, so I still go to work every day, and in fact, I haven't missed a day in 6 months. But the real thing that happened was, you probably didn't know last time, I had a broken foot. I was wearing a giant plastic boot, and I was on crutches, and I couldn't carry anything, so Rogue had to do all the setup for the show. It's a miracle we got the last show out. But as you can see, I'm fine now, and I should be able to stand up if I have to.
Yeah, Carrie was quite a trooper. She had to stand during the filming of my Harley Quinn and my Miss Maisel segments. We also had some help from our friend Dee. She was wonderful help. But Carrie put in quite a lot of effort to make sure that that podcast got done. And so we really appreciate it. Thank you, Carrie.
So we've had all these virtual conventions lately, and I was watching one from the New York Comic Con, and it was an interview with George Miller, the director of Mad Max Fury Road. It was a virtual one, he's in Australia. But take a look at the background here. Does that look a little bit familiar? I'm not saying we invented that look, but when I saw that, I just thought, that looks very familiar. We're coming up on the 25th anniversary of my first website. I had Netscape 1.0 built it in 1995 and discovered, hey, there's this World Wide Web thing. And I coded my first website using Notepad by hand. It's amazing that it's been around for 25 years now. Originally, it was hosted by AOL, and we didn't get the Mascon domain until like 1997 or 1998. Yeah, I've been on the internet a long time. And originally, my website was devoted to all the spandex and lycra costumes I was making. The masks were incidental. Someone just said, oh, where'd you get the mask with the Spider-Woman costume? I'm like, well, I made it. Like, oh, can you do more? And, the rest is history. Our next segment is Speak Up, where we answer your questions. I have some here. Rogue has not seen these questions before, so we'll see what she has to say. Mina Yadov says, hey there, Carrie. Can you make a tutorial video on making a Taylor Swift mask, please? By the way, the girl on the right just looks so real! Exclamation point, exclamation point. So she really liked your look.
Thank you.
So, a Taylor Swift mask. Well, there are certain rules about being able to do a reproduction of a person. I mean, everybody owns the right to their own look. Even going back, like if you're trying to do a Marilyn Monroe mask, the Marilyn Monroe estate's going to come after you and say, you can't do that unless you have a license. But so you just wanted to do a replica of hers, you'd have to find a really good sculptor who could sculpt her face. You would do it in clay and then make the molds from that. Even then you have a mask like that, depending on what your face looks like underneath, you may not look anything like Taylor Swift when you're wearing it. So the point is, it's a bit of a long shot and very expensive to try to do something like that.
That's true, and that would be using modern technology, but in the future we will have 3D printed masks, and it's more possible that you will be able to get a closer resemblance to a celebrity if you're trying to get that look. Although I have seen some manufacturers kind of skirt that licensing issue by not specifically naming their mask after a celebrity. They will kind of hint at it, like for instance, there was a Greyland mask that they named Jolie, which clearly was Angelina Jolie, but you kind of had to make that connection yourself. If you do create your Taylor Swift mask, please share it with us. We'd love to see it.
Yeah. Hey, Zal says, great video, enjoyed it so much. Are you going to interview maskers who are genetically female?
Well, I think we'd love to. If you are out in the audience and you would like to be interviewed and you are a genetic female who loves masking, even if it's male masking, which is a thing as well, please contact us. We'd love to interview you and just find out why you enjoy your hobby.
Yeah, we know you're out there, so, let us know. Brooke Bennett says, when is the face reveal? I know you using masks, but I want a face reveal, please. Like your real face, please. Well, it's not going to happen. It just, it would be interesting, and that's not what we're going to do for the show. I mean, the show's about field masking, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, there are some YouTubers out there who like doing a face reveal or a partial face reveal, kind of a hint at that. That's just not what we do. This is how we wish to present. We are sharing the hobby of a fully masked person, not a person pulling off their mask. It's just not what we do.
And you'd be very disappointed. And a question I get asked all the time, when is the next episode? I guarantee someone is going to ask me that the day after this show drops.
Well, we're doing our best to produce these, but of course, in the last 6 months, there's been some extra challenges. We were aiming for maybe 3 a year, and there's a possibility we could release another one in 2020, but I'm not certain. We'll have to see what happens.
I hope we can push one out the door by the end of the year, but we'll see. I mean, the holidays are going to be completely different this year. I mean, my usual plans for Thanksgiving are probably not going to happen, and who knows what Christmas is going to be like this year, so maybe we'll be just stuck here in our basements making videos for you guys, so we'll have to see.
Well, we appreciate that you're interested in seeing more. And remember, we've got 7 other episodes you can rewatch.
That's true. If you have a question, please put it in the comments below, and we'll try to answer it on our next show.
And now for a segment of our show that we call Heads Up, where we call your attention to instances of female masking in the media. So what did you see this time, Carrie?
I found a YouTube video that is a mask prank. A guy gives his girlfriend, or whatever she is, a silicone mask and a wing, and they proceed to try to pretend to somebody else in the house that she is a cousin that she's never met at a wedding before. Now, some of this video looks pretty staged to me, but I don't even care if it's fake or not. I just enjoy like seeing mask scenes, and I like the idea behind this. Part of the whole thing about masking is the fact that it is kind of a fantasy thing. I mean, you're watching us because we're wearing masks. You wouldn't care about us if we were wearing street clothes. I like the idea behind what they're doing here, whether or not it's real or not real, because, I've seen it in movies and TV shows. Mission Impossible is always fake mask scenes and things like that. But the idea to me about masking is that it's very aspirational. And so I support things like this. What have you seen this time?
So I recently saw something that wasn't new, but it was new to me. Back in 2014, Showtime had a series called The Seven Deadly Sins. It was hosted by Morgan Spurlock of Super Size Me fame. And he spent each episode talking about one of the deadly sins. And on the episode Envy, they actually interview the family behind the FemSkin products. And they go behind the scenes and they show the manufacturing facilities. It's really fascinating to watch. So you can get that episode on Amazon Prime. You can buy that individual episode. I think there's a trailer on YouTube, which shows a little bit, but I would recommend checking that out.
Yeah, I actually got contacted by Morgan Spurlock's production company years ago. They wanted to do a thing about me, and I told them the same thing I always tell everybody, which is no. I don't want to be on any videos where I don't have Final Cut, like I do here on FaceUp. So they obviously went a different direction with that one.
There's one other thing I wanted to share, and it's not necessarily masking related, but there was a short film on HBO Max called Wonder. And it's based on a little boy who wants to dress up as Wonder Woman for Halloween and the challenges that he faces with that decision, his family, his friends. It's a very inspirational film. It has a great message. It's not a long film. I definitely recommend checking it out. You can see a trailer for it at realtalkfilms.com. And obviously, I identified quite strongly with the main character of that film. And it brings me hope to see things like that.
Yes, superhero costumes was sort of my entry into this whole thing, so that little kid could have been me as well.
I mean, Wonder Woman herself is a very inspirational character, and she can be inspirational for boys or girls, just like girls could love Iron Man or boys could love a princess. There should be acceptance for that type of thing, and this film really does send that message home.
Cool, check it out. Our next segment is makeup, where we share tips with you about masking and other things. So, what do you have for this time, Rogue?
There was a person who wrote in a question for the last episode asking about masked legs. And that got me thinking about how I like to enhance my own look. So I like to share some tips and tricks that I do to get that nice look for your legs. What I'd like to demonstrate is a set of hip pads that I use from the AliExpress vendor KnowU. These are very affordable at only about $35 and can really improve the quality of your appearance. The kit they provide has a pair of briefs that go from your waist to your knees and come in a light pink or a black color. There are 2 foam pads that can be removed from the briefs, which is great for 2 reasons. So you can wash the briefs separate from the foam, and so you can use the foam pads separate from the briefs. I actually use the foam pads underneath a silicone bodysuit to add some curves to my outfits. Now you can buy padding made out of silicone as well. I have a pair of silicone hip pads, but I personally prefer the foam. The silicone becomes quite heavy at that thickness, and frankly, it's more uncomfortable sitting with silicone pads than with foam pads. Plus, the silicone pads cost significantly more. So if you're curious to try padding your hips, my recommendation would be to at least try the less expensive foam pads first.
Are you wearing them now?
I am actually wearing those foam pads right now for this outfit, and I have gotten better at identifying other actresses who seem to wear these as well. There's quite a tell if you know what to look for.
Oh my goodness. I've been using the same foam pads that a friend of mine made for me years ago. They're kind of hip and thigh pads, and you just put them under a couple pairs of nylons, and they just work really great. And they work under lycra or rubber. I've used a lot of different techniques over the years, and just this old one just works fine too, really fast. The trouble I have with silicone is that when you sit down, it looks really terrible. It bunches up on you and just looks very unrealistic. And so that's why I've kind of gone back to good old foam and generally like lycra because you just don't get that weird bunching effect.
And it's true, if you're wearing a bodysuit, silicone does tend to bunch, and that's because at this time they're still very thick. I would like to see the manufacturers work on a thinner, stronger silicone, which I believe will do less of that bunching in the future.
Rogue is definitely thinner is better.
And because that was kind of a quickie, I wanted to share one extra tip with you, this time for your mask. If you put some cotton balls underneath your mask at your cheekbones, it will raise your cheekbones, and that adds some dimension to your mask. It'll look much better, and it's super cheap. So try it. Get a pair of cotton balls and put them underneath your mask right at the cheekbones, and you'll really notice a difference.
Oh, that's a really good tip, thanks.
The next segment of our show is called Show Up, where we recreate something from the media. I think we're going to need a doctor for this one.
Whew. What have we here? Something's coming. It's a...
The TARDIS. The doctor must be near. Exterminate! Exterminate!
Dalek, what are you doing on this planet?
Searching for the doctor. Where is he?
Right here, mate.
You are not the doctor. Tell me where he is immediately. Comply! Comply!
I am the Doctor, the ancient enemy of the Daleks.
You are a female. Do not lie to me.
You better believe I'm the Doctor, and I'm more than enough to handle the likes of you.
Impossible. The doctor cannot be female.
Why not?
The doctor is a white male humanoid. He has always been a white male humanoid. Therefore, you are not the doctor.
Well, she is now, so you're just gonna have to deal with it.
No, the Daleks do not like change. We will complain. Complain!
Yell all you want. Yell to the stars. Start a petition. Send a tweet. Write a stern letter to the BBC. It won't do you any good.
I want things to be like they used to be. How about the one with the scarf? He was good.
That's all in the past now. You have to deal with the future. I can be young, old, male, female, white, black.
A black doctor? It is political correctness gone mad!
You just want to eat. There's no place for creatures like you here. Leave. Find some other planet to spread your venom.
Very well. You win this time, Doctor. But we will return.
And I, or one of my future regenerations, will be waiting. Oh, that showed him then.
Well, let's welcome back the doctor for a discussion about the making of that video in a segment we call All Dolled Up. Hello, Doctor.
Sorry for the cheesy entrance, but I was trying to replicate the appearance of every Doctor Who celebrity on 70s and 80s British talk shows where they just couldn't resist doing that effect.
Well, it was great to see you take a stand against those evil trolls who hate and fear anything different, and also the Daleks.
Well, this is a lot of fun to do. You know, I combined two of my favorite things, Doctor Who and basking here. And if you're a huge Doctor Who fan, then you probably thought this was hilarious. And if you've never seen the show before, you're wondering why I'm arguing with a giant salt shaker. I mean, you don't watch a lot of Doctor Who. Could you get the gist of what was going on?
Oh, of course, I understood what was going on, and I realized that the Daleks are a villain, and they're the stand-in for our current culture, which is fearful of anything different. As the doctor is now a female, that has been a challenge for the community to, understand and accept that. So this is a very timely piece, and I totally understood and appreciated what you did.
Yeah, there was a bit of pushback in fandom about, oh my god, a female doctor. And I suppose there's some irony in the fact that I'm not really a girl, but, I got to make the point anyway.
Well, tell me, Doctor, how do other civilizations you've encountered handle xenophobia and race issues?
Don't be mean. As the 12th Doctor said, hate is always foolish, and love is always wise. And, don't be a troll.
Well, tell me about this outfit. Is the stripe across the chest an homage to a certain other space visitor from the planet Orc?
Well, I did not make this outfit. It was I purchased it off eBay. Can't speak to the fact of whether or not it has anything to do with an homage to Mork or not, with the stripes and everything. You'd have to ask the original costume designer about that. I just think they thought the colors look really cool.
Yeah, I noticed there's some fine detail on the inside of the coat. There's also some rainbow striping there, which is very reminiscent of the suspenders that Robin Williams wore. So I think that there's some kind of connection there.
I couldn't say. But I did sew this pocket here so that I would have a place to put my sonic screwdriver.
Well, I appreciate pockets and outfits. It's a fine art to be able to hide a pocket, and well done.
Thanks.
So what can you tell me about the making of that video? Any behind the scenes? What was it like to work with the Dalek?
Dalek actually was a really nice guy. I wasn't sure we'd be able to get the props we needed for this, like the TARDIS and a Dalek. I was worried we didn't have to do the whole thing in front of a green screen with a CGI Dalek. But it's good. My friends came through. One had a TARDIS, one had a Dalek. He's playing the Dalek. He's inside that thing. And it turned out really well. This is one of the few videos where how I imagined it was how it turned out. I tried to do the best with my accent. I'm sure Red Fox in England is thinking, what accent? Americans shouldn't really try doing British accents. And I tried to do a Yorkshire accent, and it came out sounding really weird. So, I just tried to take off some of the Americanisms. I'm not a real actor. It was also really hot and sunny that day, and I was worried I would be way too hot, wearing this mask and everything. But in fact, there was a really nice cool breeze, and then I had an umbrella to cover me when we were doing shots. And I'd say that I probably was more comfortable shooting that outside in the sun than I am here under the lights in our little tiny studio here.
Well, we don't want to take up too much of your time. I realize you've got important things to do in the universe, but thank you for visiting us.
It was a fun shoot. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. Ta-ta!
And now for a segment we call Talk Up, where Carrie gets to interview a member of the female masking community. This time, Carrie spoke with Iris, who was from Taiwan.
Hello everyone, I'm Iris Wang, also star Iris99 at most of forms. I'm a female masking fetishist for more than 10 years. I'm come from Taiwan, a normal Asian but love masking as I thought.
How did you get into masking?
I think I started from masculine cross-dressing with sister's dress. When I found a site called Female Mask homepage, there were so many maskers from different places showing their other self. Then I'm totally deeply fascinated with it.
What kind of mask are you wearing today?
It is Create FX. It's lean, an Asian face. I know it's funny. I'm an Asian with an Asian mask, but I like this one really much because it shows some Asian beauty.
Do you like the CreaFX masks?
Yeah, I like it. It's elastic and it fits my face a lot. And it could move well like this. If I speak well, I could do some smile. Yeah, so I really like it, I must say.
Do you feel like you're somebody else when you're masked? Like a different person?
But yeah, I'm really enjoying the time to stay with Iris, from preparing to take beads or do some photo shoot to taking off.
What's your favorite thing about masking?
The favorite part to me, like a unique role with a fusing definition of personality building, because there has none of any restriction when I'm now in the Iris mode.
Well, is there anything else you want to add?
I think we master our special community it starts from a lot of years ago, and we appreciate Carrie to build it. I think we all should have an open mind to face it, because there is too many much bad things in the real world actually. So I think we could make the community better with the identity of our other self, different from the real world. This world could be better because we build it despite from the world. So I think we have a chance to make it better.
Yeah, thanks, Iris, for doing that. You know, she was so disappointed that you weren't part of the phone call. She really wanted to meet you.
Well, maybe in the future we can do an interview with both of us. So if you'd like to be interviewed, let us know and we can both be there.
If you'd like to be interviewed in a future show, let us know, and we'll consider it.
Well, time waits for no one, and it's time to wrap up another episode of Face Up. Thank you again for watching, and thank you for your comments. We appreciate hearing your feedback.
And if you would like to buy a mask from me, please go to maskon.com. I'm making silicone latex masks for years and years and years. I'd be happy to do one for you.
So, Carrie, do you think we're going to be able to release another episode before the end of the year?
I'm going to try really hard. We'd like to get some feedback from you guys, though. You know, if you want to see another episode, please get in the comments section there below and let us know what you think and encourage us to do another one.
We hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.